Hey, welcome to Divine Key, spelled QI. I'm Chris, and we are doing Workout Wednesday. So, for today's Workout Wednesday, I wanted to give you a tool that we all have access to, hopefully, to be able to tap into that insight, to tap into some intuition, to tap into source knowledge when you need a quick guidance on something. So, as you know, I'm a life coach. Well, maybe you don't know, but if you've been part of my channel for a while, you know I'm a life coach and I use intuitive tools in my coaching. So that would include things like tarot or runes or um, just a lot of different things. But we all have access to tap into what source wants to tell us. And one of those ways is with a book. So I just grabbed a random book off my shelf, and the way this works is, and you can do this, so go ahead and grab a book, whatever you have nearby. It could be fiction, nonfiction, it doesn't matter. Just grab a book that you have access to right now. And even if it's not, like if it's on Kindle, or even if, I'm not sure how it would work with audiobooks because I don't listen to audiobooks, but you need to be able to randomly select a section. So if you can do that with an audiobook, you can do that. I know with Kindle, because I read Kindle, which is digital, you can reduce it and just swipe it back and forth across the pages and then just land on a page. So that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to take the book and we're just going to page through it, right? Just randomly, like I'm not even looking, right? You just open it randomly. And if you have a significant book that you like to deal with, like, a book of spirituality, they'll give you a different type of message, but you want to, before you start anything, so let's go step back a minute. Okay, I'm just going really fast today, maybe too much caffeine, I don't know. But you do want to stop and take a minute to create a sacred space. That's what we always do when we work with anything spiritual. So just take a couple deep breaths, and whatever ritual that you normally do, light some incense or sage, or just sit with the thought that you're creating and you're asking for all your guides and spirits, source, to come in to give you information for your highest good that you need right now. And that only that information which will take you to your highest good will come through, and that you're safe as you go through this process. And you can imagine a bubble around you or mist around you, whatever it is that resonates with you works. So there's no absolutes in doing this. So once you do that, and by the way, when I come into my space, I always light incense. That's the first thing I do to clear the space before I begin my day. So that might be something that you want to do. I'm also a Reiki master. So Reiki is very easy to activate because it just comes from source through you. So you can activate Reiki as a sacred space or to clear things. And people may not even know that you're doing it, and that's okay. So create your sacred space, grab your book of whatever text in whatever form you have, and let's, think about what you want guidance on. So coaching is really, as a coach, I'm not solving your problems. As a coach, I'm not giving you the answers. As a coach, what I do is I help you see a different perspective on what you're struggling with. I help you see a different perspective on how you can navigate blocks and limitations that you feel within your situation. And then I give you tools to help you navigate through that and encouragement to proceed and actually take the steps and the actions needed. So, in case you're wondering, that's kind of how I work. And, part of that is understanding what you want to work on. It's just not, you just can't come in and randomly like, oh, I need help. It helps to narrow it down to a specific thing and work through that block or that limitation or that issue, and then go on to the next thing that you want to work through. Because often it's too big And, we need bite-sized pieces to navigate through it. So think of one thing you want an answer to, one thing that you've been struggling with, one thing that you feel like is a block. And just feel it, like feel it within you. Feel whatever limitation you're feeling. Acknowledge that you have that feeling that you're struggling with something, and that you would like an answer to that. So, um, for me, as an example, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick what is the next thing I need to focus on in my business? What's the next thing I need to focus on to have a successful business? So I'm going to sit with that energy, and you can think of whatever you want. And then grab your text, whatever it is, and just randomly open it. And wherever your eyes land, that's whatever paragraph, whatever words, that's the message. So here it is. Wow. So this is pretty this is pretty deep, actually. So what I get is, it must be true that we need death in order to fully experience life. So this is so, because we want to avoid the shadows. So it's really interesting that I opened in this whole book, I opened to a page that deals with the law of death. And it's really interesting because we want to avoid the shadow. We want to avoid the things that are hard. We want to avoid the things that make life difficult. And I know some tarot readers who take out all the negative cards like death and the tower and the devil. And if they do that, if you know someone who's doing that, they're not giving you the fullness of what is available to you. We need the contrast. We need the rain to come to enjoy the sun. And if it was sunshine all the time, the earth would be baked, like nothing would grow. Like, we need the rain, we need the shadow, we need night to rest and rejuvenate. We need to disconnect from all of it to rejuvenate. So that passage to me says that, and I closed the book, so I can't read it again, but it says to me that it's important to see the light in the dark, to enjoy the fullness of the life that we're in, and that we need to take time away to be able to rejuvenate and to replenish and to transform. It is in those moments when we're, say, the little death, right? When we're sleeping. It's in those moments when we can sometimes get profound information, profound guidance, because we are not distracted by the physical world. We're not distracted by all the things that our brain engages with, and it allows our spirit to connect directly to source during that time. And we are transformed in those moments. So very interesting to me that I got that message. And it is a message also for me, because I asked about my business. So this is how it works. A perspective I didn't think about is to be willing to let go of stuff that isn't working, right? To let go of something so that I can be transformed into something new. Like, if I continue to hold on what I was and what I've been doing, and a new thing's trying to come in, there's no room for it. So that's the other piece of it, is when you let go and you allow it to fall away naturally in a natural death and a natural transformation, it leaves room for something new to come in. So that's kind of how it works. That was just a little mini tool that I use. And I hope it was helpful. And whenever you're struggling, like if you're like, I need help, and you're not getting answers, you feel like you're not getting answers, you can just grab any kind of text that you're reading, anything, any book, anywhere. Like, you could even go into the library, just grab a random book off the shelf, open it, and see what the message is for you. It is important always to just take a minute, set that sacred space, set the intention that you want to be guided for your highest good, and then receive the message. So be well, everyone, and I hope to see you next week at Workout Wednesday. This is Chris from Divine Key, spelled QI. Bye.